Folks, Andrew here of GoPro Wrestling, standing next to none other than Vince Russo, the head of the WWE during the Attitude Era, and also you can hear him every week on his podcast, Vince Russo, the brand. Vince, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem, Andrew. No problem at all.
I wanted to ask you, what did you think of what happened with the Las Vegas, the shooting, that massacre, and everything like that?
Bro, it's just, just unbelievable. I found out early that morning. I'm good friends with Disco, Glenn Gilberti, and I know Glenn makes Vegas his home, so I thought of him right away. But I don't know, bro. Something like that happens, and you try to make sense out of it, and you try to imagine, what could go through somebody's mind to do something like that, and just such hatred and disregard for life, just terrible.
What are you up to right now other than your podcast? Do you have any other plans coming forward?
No, that's really it, man. I do my podcasting on Podcast One every day, Monday through Friday, and you could see the show on the Realm Network. That pretty much keeps me busy these days.
What are your thoughts of what happened recently with Jim Cornette and Santino Marella, where Jim Cornette was thrown out?
Yeah, I just think it's unfortunate. We're grown men, bro. This is a business. Like any other business, I just think some people just take it way too seriously. And I know, bro, like the older I get and the wiser I get, I don't have room for that kind of hatred or negativity in my life. There's just too many other important things.
You seem like you're at peace, especially in the last decade or so. When was the last time you actually saw Jim Cornette?
Oh, God, bro. Probably when we worked at TNA. Probably, oh jeez, I look it up, man. Whenever Jeff Jarrett and Karen Angle came out of the closet, that was the last time I saw Jim Cornette.
What is your most proudest memory of that? Something that you wrote or you created that you could look back and say, I did that?
Bro, I don't think it's a moment. I don't think it's a rating. I don't think it's a storyline. Listen, I say this all the time, whether you love me or hate me, the thing I am the most proudest of, because I don't see it today, like on a creative level. I'm not talking about a talent work level. I'm talking about a creative level. Bro, I don't think there's ever been a writer in the history of the business that worked harder than I did, that was more dedicated, that was more passionate, that was more committed. Any television show that I wrote, I gave everything I had into that show. And I'll be honest with you, that's what I'm most proud of, because I look at today's product, and to me, it's the effort's not there. It's just the effort's not there. It's not a matter of whether it's good TV or whether it's bad TV. It's a matter of, when that show is over, can you look yourself in the mirror and say, I did the best job I absolutely could have done. I was able to say that. Whether it was WWE, WCW, or TNA, I'm very proud of that. When I do my podcast today, I do the same thing. I do the best show I possibly can. I take great pride in that. And that's what I'm the most proud of.
Personally, I'm a big fan of your podcast because you always relive the Attitude Era, and you actually go over each, you actually go through the 2 hours of Raw, segment by segment, and you dissect it as well.
Yeah, and it's hard to do because, bro, the truth is, if I didn't have a podcast and if I didn't have a subscription base, I would not watch that show. I look at that like any other television show. I'm not entertained by that show. I'm not a fan of the show. If it wasn't part of my job, I wouldn't watch the show. But since it is, I look at the show and I critique it.
Since you brought up, what is one thing you would change if you were the head writer right now with WWE?
Oh my God, bro! I be honest with you, I would probably just start from scratch. I would just probably just start anew. There are so many things I think that need to change. The one thing, just out of the chute more than anything probably is it's just so predictable. It's not must-see TV. You're never taken by surprise. It's very safe. It's very mediocre. I like my television to be dangerous. I like to watch a show, be on a roller coaster ride, not know where it's going, and WWE just doesn't provide me with that these days.
Final question. What are your thoughts of the NFL players protesting the national anthem?
I hate that, bro. Listen, I have. If these guys want to protest, whatever, they can protest. But I think there are hundreds of other ways to protest. I don't think that's the time or the place, because listen, man, when that national anthem plays, I automatically, think of the military and people that went to war for us and people who lost their lives and, families who no longer have husbands and no longer have dads. I mean, that's what I immediately think of. So to me, listen, if you want to protest, protest. It's a free country. Anybody can protest. I don't think that's the right place or time.
Vince, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And you can catch Vince Russo's podcast, The Brand, every week. How many times a week is the podcast?
5 days a week, man.
Friday.
5
5 days a week, folks. Thank you, Vince, for
Thank you.